The ultimate goal was to be a world champion. So I keep going. After this win, like, I'm not done.
Hi and welcome to The Real Women of Boxing, episode 11. My name is Jacqui-Lee Pryce and today's guest is the current WBA Gold World Lightweight title holder, Jessica Camara. How you doing, Jess?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. How you doing?
I'm good. We are hot here, you know. We are hot like it's Canada.
Is it hot there?
Trust me. So how have you been doing since returning home from your win?
I've been doing good. Just, slowly getting back into routine. I took it a little bit easy, like for a week or two when I got back. But next week, I'm full force back in the gym, back into my regular routine.
Yeah, you deserve a bit of a break, definitely. Is it hard for you sometimes to take time off?
It is. Like, I look forward to it, like leading up to the fight when you're just training really hard. Your schedule's super busy. You can't wait for that break. But then when you get it, it's like, oh, this isn't what I want. I want to go back to my routine. You just feel off. So like, I'm excited to get back into my routine, get back into training.
So you fought for the WBA Gold World Lightweight title against Hyun Mi Choi in South Korea.
Yeah.
Good record, 21 wins and 1 draw ahead of the fight. So, yeah, I mean, really good quality opponent. Were you slightly, let's say, because you're the away fighter, is there a fear that you're not going to get a decision when you go and fight abroad? Bearing in mind she's so popular in South Korea.
Yeah, of course. Like, I went there with the mind, like, I'm going to have to completely dominate or knock her out. But just looking at her style, and the way, like, I knew I had her. I was so confident leading up to the fight. I've been wanting this fight for a long time. It was brought up a few years back when she had WBA title at 130. I wanted that fight. I don't know what happened, but it didn't happen at the end of the day. But when we got this call to fight her this time, I was like, yes, 100%. Like, I just knew stylistically it was going to be a great fight. And I was so confident I was going to have the win. I trained super hard for it. And I felt like I was really close to knocking her out. She was super tough the whole fight, but we completely dominated the whole fight. So it was really hard to think that they would take it away from me.
Well, you say that, but it happens.
Yes, I know. One judge gave it to her. So, I mean, it was close to happen. But yeah, 100%. I was a little nervous with this.
She is a really, really tough opponent. You're somebody that likes to apply pressure on the front foot.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I noticed is that she has difficulty, let's say, boxing on the back foot. Was that something that you guys thought you would apply the pressure, keep her off on her back foot, and try and sort of get her out of her rhythm? Was that part of the game plan?
Yes, 100%. My coach, when he was watching video, that's the one thing he noticed right away. Like, she cannot fight going backwards. So what we need to do is just keep applying pressure, keep pushing her back, and that's what we did. It took a little bit of time just establishing the range, closing the distance. But once I was able to get inside on her and just keep pushing her back, I knew I had her.
I think it felt to me a little bit like the time that you were taking to kind of just judge the distance and get the distance, was that a little bit of ring rust, do you think?
A little bit. I was taking my time a little bit in like the first 2 rounds because I didn't want to walk into any of her punches because she's really slick with step back and come back with quick punches in between. So I didn't want to rush my way in or lean into anything. So I was just being careful, using my jab to close the distance and trying to get the timing to come inside too.
Yeah. She's very much a counter puncher, but what I will say is that your hand speed was a lot quicker than hers, so you were beating her to the punch predominantly anyway. Can you put into words, what it means to you to get that win away from home after all the ups and downs that you've been through over the last few years?
Oh man, I mean, it's been a journey, a lot of ups and downs, and I can just say I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of everything that I've gone through. I mean, I'm thankful for everything I went through because it brought me to where I am today. I don't know if I would be the person I am today if it wasn't for all those ups and downs. I'm definitely humbled It's been a journey. I'm thankful for all the people that stuck with me through the journey. I have a very small circle of people that, really stuck with me and believed in me. A lot of people fell off when, I took a loss, right? Didn't believe in me. But for the people that, my team, my coach, Ian McKillop, he's believed in me right from day one. I have my strength trainer, Luigi Melli, who he's actually my strength trainer and my nutritionist. He's stuck by me, really believed in me. My manager, Brian Cohen, he got me this fight. He believed in me. I went over to Philadelphia for a training camp for a week, worked with him. I was really blessed and thankful to have that opportunity. And I'm just excited to see, what's next.
You talk about all these people that believed in you. Is it a case of, like I said, sometimes you hadn't had it very easy in boxing. You were part of that lightweight competition, the Road to Undisputed. You fought Kaylee Reese. You didn't get the decision. It wasn't your night that night. Kaylee got it. And then it seemed to be a situation where, okay, everybody took notice of you. And all of a sudden there was, the momentum slowed down again. So I guess my point is this. When you are feeling like, what is the point? Are these the people, the small circle that stuck by you? Are these the people that uplift you and just keep you going?
Yes and no. I don't give up on myself. I'm the person that doesn't give up on me, really. Ultimately, these are people that stick by me, and they're like family. They do push me, they do motivate me, but I don't really need that motivation to keep going. I know I never give up. I keep going, I keep pursuing my goals. So, even after defeat, I get up. The ultimate goal is to be a world champion. So I keep going. After this win, I'm not done. I want to keep pursuing my dream. Keep trying to be the best version of me.
I love that. I love the fact that, yes, it is good to have a team. I think nobody can make it alone. But I think quite rightly you're saying motivation has to come from within.
100%. I believed in myself from day one.
That's brilliant. Has there been any conversations with Brian about, where to go to next? Because there's lots of things, opening up, particularly on the female scene at the moment. Have you had those sorts of conversations as yet?
I mean, it was still too soon to really have a conversation. We had talked about, we do want the big fights. So we're waiting for those offers to present themselves. But I guess we haven't talked about, what's next. Maybe we defend the title in the next few months, or we're waiting for, another opportunity to come, another offer to present itself.
So many women have talked about this, in female boxing, because there's such a wide depth between the tops and the bottoms. There's kind of hardly anyone in the middle. That some people just have to take a chance in order to maneuver themselves into world title fight contention. Is that something that you're willing to do, to go, you know what, if a situation came where I could fight a Katie Taylor or I could fight a Chantel Cameron, would you maneuver yourself in that position and go for the fight?
Yes, 100%, 100%. I want those big fights. The business standpoint, I mean, my manager's going to have to deal with their side of things to make that fight happen. But I'm down for, I've always said Katie Taylor was my dream fight. That's the fight I won 100%. But yes, I'm down to fight all the top girls.
I think that's the case at the moment, where you kind of have to just take a chance.
Take the risk.
Because it's not always about talent, is it? It's not. What I mean by that is, it's not about, some people get opportunities and other people don't get opportunities, and it's rarely about talent.
Styles make fights, and anything can happen in a fight, right? So I just, going back to my fight with Choi, right? I was a big underdog. No one thought I would win, but I knew stylistically it was a great fight to be made. I took that chance. I went over there. I know I was going to be battling her and the judges, and I took that chance, and look where we are now.
So talking of the judges, your team raised some concerns, didn't they, about the fairness of the judging and the selection of the officials. Can you explain to me what specific issues you observed, and, what kind of things did you guys do in order to make sure that it was a fair contest?
Well, my manager, Brian Cohen, had reached out to the commission there that he was dealing with the commission of Korea and the WBA to ensure that there was, fair judging. And there was judges from nearby, so like Thailand, Japan. One of the judges that lives in Thailand he's originally Cuban. I think he lived in the US. But if you look at his record, like he did judge one of Hyun Mi Choi's recent fights with Vanessa Bradford. And the other two judges had to score 66 rounds to 4 in favor of Choi, which was actually a pretty fair scoring. And this other judge, Armando Garcia is his name, gave Choi all 10 rounds. Right? So we were like, this isn't a good judge. And it turned out we had that judge. And we had seen him we're at the weigh-ins. We met him and we had a good conversation with him. He's like, you know what, guys, I promise you I'm going to be fair. You don't have to worry. And my coach actually felt a little bit better with the conversation he had. And he's actually the judge that gave Choi 6 rounds out of 10, which I don't know what he was looking at. So yeah, there was concerns.
Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we drop new content.
My coach had a conversation with him after that and explained, you know what, how can he do that to these athletes who work so hard, dedicate their lives to the sport, and for you to do that, like that's not cool. That's not cool. So they had a little bit of exchange of words, and I know Brian also reached out to WBA concerning that issue also.
I was smiling because, number one, the fact that he came up and went, listen, I'm not going to cheat you.
Yes.
Like, what a thing to come up and say, number one. And number two, knowing Brian, it was like, you're not gonna pull one over his fighter. That's the way that I was laughing.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, it's joking aside, it's really sad that you have to keep, because effectively your job as a coach and the fighter is just, they're there to instruct you and you're there to fight. You don't really want your energy focused over there, but this is professional boxing, so.
Yeah, I mean, I know the deal behind that. I know with the judges and all that. I ultimately don't put my energy towards that when I fight. I just focus on the fight. All that other stuff's out of my control, really, at the end of the day. So I don't put my energy towards that.
Yeah, I understand that, looking back at, from my perspective, it looked like the judge was being quite fair and, to warning Choi. Am I getting that right, or is there a different perspective from your point of view?
The referee you're speaking of, right?
Yeah.
I didn't understand him. So she kept holding me in the back of my neck. Every time I'd come in, she would grab my back of my neck and then she'd punch me in the back of the head. So I was like, hey, and it looked like he was warning me, but he just was doing this and was going, no. So I was like, okay, well, she was doing that. So is he telling me that that's not good, or is he accusing me of doing that? So I was a little unsure. My corner was telling me, be careful. You don't want a point being taken away. But luckily nothing happened. I wasn't sure what he was instructing. He wasn't really being that much involved. But yeah, I didn't really understand him at the most part.
It's weird because it did look to me like, because we've seen it, like I say, we've seen it before where an away fighter goes and they're being fouled and they're the ones being told off, and it's like, hold on a minute, I didn't do anything. So, are you literally one of those fighters that you're just going to get back in the gym, keep yourself, busy, occupied until Brian comes up with an opportunity?
Yeah, this is a lifestyle for me. So I'm going to get back in the gym, regular routine on Monday. I'm going to keep in shape, waiting for the phone call.
Well, listen, I hope something comes your way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much for giving us your time.